maybe it's a...
Come on.
There you go.
What's going on? Perfect timing. All right, that's a good way to start us off. Perfect.
This is
right into
the second episode of the recording batch day that we're having.
So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ales and Tales podcast. I am your host, Mike Mercurio, and with me are my co-host and Ale Amigos. We got Carly Duggan to my left.
Hello.
And we got Jim McCarthy behind the buttons.
Behind the buttons, as usual.
And we're going to dive into a beer today called Living Waters Brewing's Sieg, S-I-E-G.
Go ahead and put it on the...
It's a Kolsch.
The coaster.
All right, put it on the...
What do we got there?
Design, or the camera coaster so they can see it. So you can find us on the alesandtalespodcast.com, Patreon if you want to support us. If you are not familiar with the show, we're going to bring you some different perspectives on a beer. Hopefully I'll be able to get through a sentence. Hopefully we will like it, and then I'll give you a chance to try it, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you for giving me a chance to try it. I appreciate that.
I do what I can.
Yeah.
It's a good excuse to drink some beer in the early parts of a Saturday for no other reason than entertainment.
Ales and Tales podcast brought to you by someone
eventually
that is eventually going to take us up on that offer.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Pay for our beer.
Or the production of the show.
It's definitely the production. Here's a little, it's not, I try to do a beer quote every once in a while. This is a little longer. This is more of a beer scene. So one night at Cheers, a TV sitcom, Cliff Clavin said to his buddy Norm, "Well, you see, Normie, it's like this. A herd of buffalo can only move as fast as the slowest buffalo. And when the herd is hunted, it's the slowest and weakest ones at the back that are killed first. This natural selection is good for the herd as a whole because the general speed and health of the whole group keeps them improving by the regular killing of the weakest members. In much the same way, the human brain can only operate as fast as the slowest brain cells. Excessive intake of alcohol, as we know, kills brain cells, but naturally it attacks the slowest and weakest brain cells first. In this way, regular consumption of beer eliminates the weaker brain cells, making the brain faster and more efficient machine. That's why you always feel smarter after a few beers."
Okay.
Interesting.
Thought that was pretty good.
It's a good take.
So like last episode, we mentioned Cheech and Chong, and she went, huh?
Right. You know Norm from Cheers?
I haven't watched Cheers,
Okay.
no, but I've heard of it.
You'd like it. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay.
If you like, Friends and The Office, Cheers was kind of like the original, the predecessor to Friends, those style of shows.
Or How I Met Your Mother. It's all in bar scenes and stuff like that. It was a good show. It got a little repetitive and redundant after a while of just, what's his face? Tony, what's his character? Always hitting on the girl and always getting turned down.
Sam?
Yeah, every episode.
Diane, Sam and Diane, and eventually became Rebecca.
Yep. But yeah, it was entertaining up until that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Living Waters Sieg. I'm going to talk to you about Living Waters Brewery, tell you what they say at their website, which is very small, not a lot. They are a brewery and coffee bar located in East Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh.
Living Waters Brewing focuses on creating unique small batch beer and coffee experiences. I like beer experiences.
Beer experiences are good experiences.
Our name represents the ever-changing nature of flowing water, yeast, and the constant pursuit of perfection.
Well, I would say that the living water aspect is a little bit biblical.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So they say about their beers, this is kind of neat. They're crafted in two categories, waterfalls or rivers. These are named according to whether they can and should be, when they can and should be enjoyed. A waterfall beer should be enjoyed soon after purchase to ensure the intended flavor is achieved. A river beer can be enjoyed now or cellared for an extended period. So this is something that Ben, who is not here today, he's out at the Funk Fest, would appreciate, considering he ages some beers from time to time. So yeah, Nashville's having their Funk Fest beer event today, and he's our correspondent on the ground.
Yeah.
Is he going to be calling in?
No, that would be pretty cool, though. I'm trying this one. It's great.
We could have him do that. So
If he's interviewing people, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So it's he's having fun at the funky festivities, finding future fermentation for us to enjoy.
a lot of F's there. Look at you with the alliteration.
Yeah.
That or I just had a stroke. I don't know. Our offerings change regularly, so please check out our Instagram, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's what they got. I don't think they talk about their coffee too, and we may need that after a few beers, but we're good for right now. They also, I looked up this particular beer, and on Beer Advocate, it has no rating, which is kind of weird. I guess not a lot of people have rated it yet. It's 5.1% alcohol by volume, light golden body. Well, I'm not going to tell you what they say it tastes like yet. We'll hold off on that. We'll figure it out. They give you a specific pouring temperature,
What?
which is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm like, okay, stop. I don't
Does
care.
the beer have to be that, or you have
that
to
much.
actually be in a room at 45 degrees?
I really need this beer, man.
So only
best
during the
quality.
fall, during the evening.
Yes, you can only drink it when facing east. And
Well, I mean, getting back to the name, Living Waters Brewing, it sounds like they're trying to avoid the biblical connotations of living waters. You know, my voice is like living waters, is what Jesus said, right? So it's just interesting. Why would you call it that, knowing that's where the genesis of the term comes from?
well, I'm assuming there's multiple approaches to it.
Yeah.
There's, considering a river is living water, it's not stale or stagnant.
Well, now that we're getting into the political and religious, portion of the show,
is that what we're
who are
doing?
you voting for?
Ooh.
I can only imagine who you're voting for. Here's what I feel about abortion. Nothing. Wow. No laughs.
What are you doing to us?
I'm just saying, because we're talking about biblical and religious. And
No, I think,
go back into my
I think he needs
ashtray.
extra beer.
Yeah.
That last beer was a little bit of a doozy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we kicked off the batch recording with a 9 point what?
8.2.
8.2 ABV
Let's not
beer.
get carried away.
Yeah.
8.2.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Like a typical California earthquake Richter scale rating.
But we sobered up real quick because we got to see some kittens.
Say that again. How was that? We sobered up real quick. Really quick. I'm going to be over here napping on the couch. So you guys have fun.
We had to give Carly the refresh by going and seeing Barn Cat, which you've heard mentioned a few episodes ago, had kittens. So
Yes.
Carly's first word when seeing the kittens was "ee," or something along those lines.
Yes, I was very pleased.
So tell us about the can, Carly. What's it look like for our listeners?
Sure. So it is a taller can. It is a tan background with a navy, maybe periwinkle blue kind of accent color. You got the large name of the beer, Sieg, but it's vertical. You get the Kolsch, and then you get this amazing drawing of a gnome house. It's out of a tree. There's a couple gnomes poking their heads out of the windows. There's a gnome sweeping the bottom of the tree because you got to keep that clean.
Gotta keep the tree clean.
There's
Sweep
a
the
little smoke coming out of the little gnome house. And at the top it says, "Go beyond usual."
If you think of the Keebler Elves and those
Yeah.
commercials, the house, I believe in those commercials, this might be a...
This is that same tree. If they cut all the branches off of it, there's like no leaves at the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
But it looks otherwise
it's a husk.
exactly
it's
the
a,
same.
It's a husk of the Keebler Elves tree, as if the Keebler Elves tree was in a fire. And it's integrated into the tree. The house is actually coming out of the tree.
Yep. I think
That's what it reminds me
This
of.
was a warring gnome tribe that came in and killed the Keebler Elves and took out all the greenery of the tree and then moved in.
They're very intimidating because they're all cyclops elves.
And they're
Yeah.
brewing in the tree now. Oh, it is a cyclops.
It's a cyclops elf. Yeah. Or gnome, rather.
Oh, that's weird.
These are the
They are cyclops gnomes.
what you would think of
Scary.
when you find a troll in comment sections on Facebook or social media.
Okay, it just got weirder. I was just thinking they were regular gnomes. I thought that was their nose. But no, that's actually their cyclops eye.
Right.
Okay.
Because
All
the
right.
nose would be too high.
Yeah. Very odd.
Yeah.
All right. It is a cool color combination, though.
It
I
also
like
reminds me of like the house from A Series of Unfortunate Events, Lemony
Yeah.
Snicket, right? But what do they call it? The Mandela effect? Was the Keebler Elf house separate from the tree or ingrained in the tree?
I thought it was like wrapped around it.
Was
like
it?
a tree house built onto it.
Or was it just a tree that was built onto the...
No,
Or a
he's
house
actually
built onto
used
the
to open
tree.
the window and he came out of the tree. So I think it was
Oh,
actually
okay.
part of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever guys ever studied that, the Mandela effect?
Yeah, it's wild stuff.
It is.
Yeah. It's the belief that something was a specific way and it's always been that way. And people say, no, it was never that way. And then you go back and look and it's not the way you remember it, but you know for certain that it was that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like there was a recent one with like Fruit of the Loom. clothing where they said, yeah, it used to be like a cornucopia and the fruit was coming out of it or
Yeah, it
something
was.
like that.
But apparently-
and people were like, no, there was never a cornucopia. And I was like, no, there was
definitely a cornucopia.
And people were like, no, there never was. And
Right.
they reached out to Fruit of the Loom and they're like, no, we never did that.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
one lady was actually, she said she dug a bunch back into her old clothing from her childhood and showed a label, and sure enough, there was. So it's like, who's lying and what's the deal? Like this weird stuff like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
And that lady Epsteined herself.
Did you just hear the second whistleblower for the
Boeing?
for doors blowing up the Boeing plane? Just
All of a sudden, he's no longer, he's been unalived.
yeah, unalived.
God.
Well, let's pour one out for our homies there, I guess.
Boeing employees, make sure you have your letters that say I am in, correct state of mental health and will not be
interested
killing
in-
myself.
Yes. It's wild.
Yeah.
Boy, old Clinton gets around, doesn't she? I'm sorry. So I do like the color of there's like a blueprint blue on the beige. That's a good color combination.
Blueprint blue. Very descriptive.
If you ever see architect blueprints.
Yeah. Go ahead and if you want to pour it, you want to tilt it and pour it, right? Carly, go ahead and pour it on the spot there that we've designated.
Sure.
That way people can see it.
Yeah. Make the Ales and Tails logo pop.
Oh, that's light.
That's very light.
It's almost the same color as the can.
A little bit more yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Think.
There it is on the camera. What do you guys think?
Ooh,
There it went.
Pretty light.
Mm-hmm.
It's very light. It's pretty clear. Not much haze at all to it. It's almost completely clear. So this is a Kolsch.
What's this? A Kolsch? What is a Kolsch?
It's a great question.
Isn't it a German style beer? When I was in Cologne, Germany, this was like their specialty beer, or like what they
Really?
were known for.
So this is their craft beer.
But there's light versions and dark versions. I mean, I could be mistaken, but
Definitely, the smell of it is champagne-y. Very.
yeah.
It's a style of beer originating in Cologne, Germany.
Cologne.
It has an original gravity between 11 and 14 degrees Plato. Okay, we're getting deep. Bright and clear with straw color, typically.
That's dead on.
Yep. It's a top fermenting yeast type. So since 1997, the term Kolsch has had a protected geographical indignation, righteously, indication, PGI, within the European Union, indicating a beer that is made within 50 kilometers of the city of Cologne and brewed according to the Kolsch Convention as defined by the members of the Cologne Brewing Association. And I'm not going to say the German version of that because I will mess that up. It's one of the most strictly defined beer styles in Germany. Pale, highly attenuated, hoppy, bright, filtered, and not cloudy. Must be brewed according to the Reinheitsgebot. It is warm fermented, then conditioned at cold temperatures like a lager. So it's very similar to a lager, just the German version of it.
Interesting.
Indeed. It looks nice. It is clear.
Yeah.
The head went away very
It's got a
quickly.
haze to it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that.
You're probably, so knowing that Carly is not a huge malt fan, I have a feeling you may not enjoy this as much. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's got a malty smell to
yeah,
it.
it
A lot of
does.
malt. It's like wet.
What does Sieg mean? Sieg?
I think it's a river.
Is this Sieg?
I believe so. I think this is one of the rivers. Sieg.
Because they used to say
Well, there's
when
that.
Hitler was in power,
Sieg.
Sieg Heil, right?
Yep.
What did that mean? And I think it was SIEG. That's how it's spelled.
SIG.
I'm not fluent in German.
I'm not either.
Other than 9.
Victory.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Victory River.
Win.
That's good.
Victory.
Have you had it yet, Carly?
Triumph.
Mm-mm.
Let me see if this is a river. Maybe.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the sea
I almost
is a
get,
river
like-
in Germany.
Peanut butter or like Captain Crunch or something.
Really?
Like when I smell it and then taste it.
Captain Crunch.
It
Yeah.
smells like wet straw.
Mhm.
Like after a rain, if you go out to a barn.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm getting like champagne on the nose.
I can see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a.
I still get the peanut butter.
Well, was it peanut butter Captain Crunch? Because that was a
No,
such
I'm just
thing.
kidding.
That was such a thing, not
Yeah.
a such thing.
I can see that.
You can see the peanut butter
Yeah.
and the Captain Crunch?
Or taste it.
You can taste it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying by tasting it.
Right.
Yeah, it has, like, if you have the non-flavored Captain Crunch portion, which is just like the wheat puffs or whatever they are, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But it has that kind of deeper bitterness to it, like what a peanut butter would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Huh.
It's not like you go, oh, peanut butter when you try it, but I can see the resemblance.
But it is kind of champagne-y too.
Yeah, it is. It has a smell of it.
And it has a bit of a carbonation to it that you can like feel. You feel it kind of hitting the tongue a little bit.
Stop popping your mic for crying out loud.
I'm back away from this thing. We're having weird things going on.
Yeah, we're having technical
I'll stand
issues.
with it. I'll sit way back here. Good. I can relax. Lounge out. Can you still hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. It's good. It's very straw-like. It is very barnyardy.
Yeah, I don't feel like you wouldn't get a beer like this at like your average restaurant or like on tap anywhere. This is kind of like a very unique, like kind of a palate cleanser almost because it's just so different.
I could see that. Palate cleanser, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It is light. It does not stay on the tongue. Like
Right.
it's not just sitting heavily.
Right.
Compared to the last beer, which was much more dense, this is a much more thin, more liquidy beer.
Huh.
It just kind of washes off the tongue, because the other one kind of, like slowly slithered
It had
way
the
off.
it had the tongue glove available from.
Mike'sToyStore.com. No.
It had a little bit of tongue glove, that last one, which was the if you're referencing it for the show, last episode it was called what? The Elysium
Space dust.
Elysian space dust.
Space dust. That's
Yep.
right.
This is the German tongue glove.
Yes.
That's
There's
it.
no tongue glove on this though, right?
No.
It just, and off it goes.
You can move up to that, Mike. Let's try a different setting.
All right.
There we go.
We're trying different things, folks. We're having weird technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it remind you of? Anything in particular? Like, some beers paint a picture in your mind. I don't know if this does or not.
Oh, as far as conjuring up images of memories and stuff?
Did you just find your microphone?
Yeah, whoa.
Hold on, let's try that with hers. You guys keep talking. It's all
All
right.
right.
We're troubleshooting in the midst of this. That's what I do.
It's all good. He's got buttons.
I do.
This doesn't remind me of a whole lot. I mean, I had a Kolsch when I was in Cologne or Köln, and that's German word for Cologne.
They just give up on some of the letters and
That's
syllables.
French, though, isn't it? Cologne?
I don't know.
Champagne.
Champagne.
This is, I mean, it reminds me, as far as like a memory or something like that, nothing. I was expecting it to taste like Heineken in a way.
Oh,
Because, you know,
yeah.
those German beers,
Mm.
my father was a huge fan of Heineken and Beck's. And I could never stand them. Until,
No.
and then he and I started agreeing once he started buying Sam Adams, which was a cool. Did I ever tell you my Sam Adams story?
Yep.
I could tell it again if you like.
I'd really like for you to do that.
Yeah?
No.
I'll do that right now. I'm joking.
So, you were saying, so you had them in Germany.
I also went to the Heineken brewery in Amsterdam. It's huge. It's like
Oh, yeah.
like the Coke factory in Atlanta.
It's like they've been in business for a while.
yes,
How long have they been in business? Do you know? Heineken?
A long, time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
really
the
kind of
official-
enjoying it. I was expecting, because the can doesn't really sell it. It's kind of
it doesn't. It's bland.
right. It's not going to pop off to me on a grocery store shelf, you know? So you bought this, Mike. Did you have any previous knowledge of it or anything? Or
No, I've never had this one by Living Waters. I've had other beers by Living Waters that I've liked.
Yeah.
They have
What
good
caught
stuff.
your attention about it?
Honestly, I look for things that are kind of unassuming sometimes.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Underwhelming?
yeah.
Yeah.
I find that if it's not always the case, but in marketing, a lot of times, if you have to do a lot of fluff to get attention,
Right.
maybe it's lack of substance.
I find that with people too.
That's fairly accurate.
If you have to come to a meeting or a networking event and you're like dressed to the nines, it probably means you got nothing going for you.
Puffery.
Yeah. What do they call that? Peacocking.
Oh,
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble because I'm always in a suit.
No,
so not always.
Well,
you know who I'm talking about. There are people around town that are, you know, influencers, thought leaders, or wannabe at least. And
Go overboard.
They go way overboard.
Well,
you know.
you hear like people that flaunt their money don't really have it, and then people that have money don't
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. An early
Like
experience.
yesterday, I was at a networking event. I met the guy who owns 40 local McDonald's stores, and I think like 6 or 7 in Boca Raton. And you'd never know it. Just a simple business suit. I don't think he was wearing a tie, just a Nashville casual kind of thing. You'd never know it. And the guy's probably loaded.
When I was in college, one of my roommates' dads came by. He's apparently a big time attorney, and he pulled up in a Honda Civic, and I went, "What's your dad driving a Honda Civic for?" He goes, "He doesn't like using his money for stuff like that." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. Now, good car."
You're a financial planner, right? That's what you do for a living.
Yeah.
That's the conundrum, isn't it? Where if you buy a nice car, it shows that you're successful and obviously good at what you do. But at the same time, if you show up in a Honda Civic, it can still send that message because you're just being frugal. You're just good with your money.
Smart with your money.
So which one, it sends mixed signals. You know what I mean?
Well, I think people put too much attention. Intentionality is important, right? Why are you doing it? Like, I'm a huge Porsche fan. I love Porsche, but it's not, I don't care if anybody ever sees me in one of them or not, right?
Well, you kind of got it out of your system though. You've been driving Porsche for years.
Yeah. But again, even
Porsche.
my Porsche, don't do that.
What? Porsche?
Porsche. It's a family name. German. Anyway, so it's kind of like the motorcycle thing. I use it as like a Harleys as an example. There are people who ride Harleys that wear the helmet that's like, like a plate, a dinner plate on their head, like that's going to do anything whatsoever.
Right.
And they have the loudest pipes possible.
Right.
It's like, look at me.
Yeah.
Or the people, that pull up at stop signs with their music so loud that.
Well, even on Broadway, I was on Broadway last night, and there's people that are just driving down with their flashers on, going back and forth on Broadway, just zooming in their car. And it's like, what are you trying to show off? Your like Dodge Charger is like cool or whatever. Like,
yeah, all the women are going to obviously step out and flag me down because I'm awesome, because I'm in this loud, fast car. It's the dumbest mentality ever. It's the same with the music. I stopped one day and there was a guy who was booming so loud that everybody's windows were shaking in traffic, and I pulled up next to him and I flagged him to roll his windows down. I said, "You think this is going to get you a lot of women? Have you had a single one jump in your car with you because you sound like an idiot?"
Yeah.
He's like,
You actually did that?
"Yeah."
That's brave.
I don't care.
You never know what he has on him.
Well, I have a feeling a very small gun
Yeah.
would be the joke. Anyway.
What do you mean?
So, yeah, it just depends on intentionality. Why are you doing something, right?
Right.
For me, I don't care if anybody ever sees me in the car or not. I just enjoy what it is and what it does.
Well, here's the thing is that sometimes the most unassuming, like to your point, items, personalities do have the richest flavor and depth and substance.
I remember Maine beer.
Yeah.
Where it has literally the logo is just Maine beer and tiny little letters on a white label.
On a white
that's
label.
it. And all their stuff is fantastic. There's no puffery, so to speak.
I've had a bottle of wine. I think it's Saldo, and it's just a tiny little like label, and it was really good.
That one is, yep.
It's like it's almost like what's that machine called where you type in what you want, like a label printer, and it's like
The
that
old
font.
label clicker thingy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that called? Label tape.
Like a label maker?
Yeah, you remember the little thing you spun the top of it?
Yeah,
click,
label maker.
Yeah.
But it punched the letters into the tape.
It raised the letter.
Yeah. And it was a distressing process in the tape itself due to the letter trying to come through, be punched through.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very simple like
there
that.
was no font choice, no color choice. It was always the same font, and it had to be white against typically blue or red.
Red, yep. My mom had that stuff labeled all over the house, I remember.
I remember that.
Click.
And when you're a kid, all you want to do is make stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would just click the heck out of it.
That's
She's like,
right.
would you stop? I'm like,
Gotta label everything.
that's right.
That's pretty much what we would do. Drive my parents nuts, but So this needs to be labeled. No, it's a refrigerator. Everybody knows what the frickin' refrigerator is, Jim. It doesn't need to be labeled, for crying out loud.
Everything's
It's
a
on
toy
my
if it's
car?
entertaining.
Come on.
Car.
Car.
Just stick on the
Car.
I remember when I was younger, we would put stickers that we'd get at the doctor's office on the inside of my mom's like car, like on the windows, like
Oh, she
her
must have loved
van. We had all of our stickers laid out, and she didn't. I don't remember her yelling at us, but she probably did.
She was letting you guys be kids.
She was yelling, you guys just weren't listening. Kids.
My wife let my daughter paint on the walls throughout a majority of her childhood, and her friends would also come over and paint in her room on the walls. And when it came time to actually repaint the room, it was we regret doing that because you have to get all that paint off, and
Tricky.
Yeah.
Gotta get some thick paint.
It's just paint over paint, multiple layers.
No, I years ago I found that to be worthwhile, to find like a little restaurant that looks like a hole in the wall or a dive, or in a back alley somewhere in a big city, because normally they have to be great to be in business.
Like you were just talking about the other day about the place in Metro Center before all the apartments went up.
Yeah.
And it was these people living in a duplex that were making burgers. And it was like
bars on the windows. It was sketchy as could be. You walk in and everybody looks at you like, what are you doing here? But yeah, it was great. One of the best burgers I ever had.
Where was this?
Off of Coffee Street in Germantown before it was renovated.
The Renaissance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go there and get burgers every once in a while. And it was, you walked in and if you weren't the norm, everybody was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I stood out like a sore thumb when I walked in, but the burger was fantastic. And after a while, they got to know me. So it was cool.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, it was sketchyville, but it was worth it. Best stuff in a simple and unassuming package, right?
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of whether it's good or not, what do you guys think? I mean, is this something that you would do more than once?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lighter side kind of beer. And, I've already refilled it twice up to the quarter, 1/3 mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot left.
It's got a little bit of a barnyard funk to it. It's kind of a wild yeast taste. You can taste the yeast. You can taste the straw.
Get up on the mic.
Kind of the fermentation. I'm afraid to pop this thing again.
I know.
But you can taste some of the fermentation in it. It tastes raw,
Mm-hmm.
but it tastes good. I like it. It reminds me of a good walk through a field first thing in the morning. Like, that's why I was asking you guys if you had like any visions from
Morning
from it.
freshness. That's right. As opposed to morning wood.
I feel like there's just a lot of flavors in it that you don't get in like your typical like light beer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that it reminds me of an IPA in the fact that there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it adds to the beer and it makes it enjoyable rather than like, I'm just drinking to, get tipsy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying the beer. So that's nice.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Did we read what it said us on the top here?
Mm-hmm.
Did we?
Yeah, she did.
Go beyond usual?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I must not have been listening.
So on the Beer Advocate, it says light golden body, clear, decent carbonation. I'd agree. Thick white head. I did not get that. It went away quick. Dense and semi-creamy. I wouldn't call it dense. Beautiful aroma, light, bready.
Yeah.
Notes.
When you freshly pour it, it is semi-thick.
Yeah.
It goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does. It dissipates rapidly, for sure.
Nice herbal hop counterpoint. Taste mimics the aroma, light, delicate malt base, minor hop bitterness, medium body, crisp, light residual sugar smoothness. I don't get the sugar part of it, but the rest of it I would agree. It is bright. Like, it's not a dark kind of a weighing down kind of beer. It is bright.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a morning walk through after a rain through a field.
It is really carbonated, though. I feel like I keep burping.
Getting the herp.
Is it a morning walk or maybe an evening walk?
No, it's a morning walk where the dew is still there because you smell the wet soil, the wet hay, straw, wet grass.
What time in the morning?
We're
5:30?
Yes. Let's go with that. The sun is up.
5:40. What season?
What decade?
See, what he did is he moved himself.
What decade? Is it 1982?
He moved himself farther away from us, so I can't throw anything at him.
You're actually closer than you were. Yeah.
So what would this pair well with?
A pear. A pear.
Oh, pear.
Actually, it wouldn't be. I mean, if you put like a fruit in this, it would actually pear would bring it out.
Yeah, I think this would work with any fruits. Kind of like a
charcuterie.
A Belgian. You could do an orange slice or something like that.
Yeah, I can see an orange. Citrus.
Salty meat would work very well with this.
Cheese and crackers.
Salt cured pork.
What's the the main dish? It's a pork dish in Germany.
Oh, Schnitzel.
Schnitzel. That would go good.
That would
with some sauerkraut.
I wonder if it's because we know it's a German style beer that does that, or is it naturally that's why it works so well there? You know, what lends itself to what?
Like something salty would go good with this. Like salty meat.
I was thinking like a warm, soft pretzel with beer cheese. This could work very well with it.
Mustard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely German foods for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you gone to or considered going to Oktoberfest in Germany?
I've been to Germany, but not during Oktoberfest. And yes, I would like to do that. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I went when it was Christmas market instead.
Oh, cool.
That was wild.
A lot of peppermint. A lot of peppermint.
Lots of weird. Well, there's a lot of food being cooked out, a lot of grilling out, and then there was a lot of weird ceramics.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. There's the burps.
Like, this is probably a good pizza beer as well.
Yeah.
It would work well with it.
Pepperoni.
It's a good chameleon beer. It would fit in with just about anything.
Pineapple and ham. That'd be good too.
All right, hold on. Let me think on that one.
Pineapple ham pizza.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could get that.
Or even a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
With ham.
Salty grilled cheese. It has to be a good salty cheese, though, not a American cheese.
You got to do cheddar with, a grilled cheese, in my opinion.
Provolone.
Provolone works too. Absolutely.
My dad, after my parents got separated, my dad would just make me grilled cheese sandwiches for lunch sometime, and just
they're the best.
Dude, he would mayo and provolone in there.
You've seen that movie Chef with Jon Favreau, right? I think we've talked about it before on the podcast. It's a movie called Chef where he is a world-class LA chef who goes off the rails because a restaurant was reviewed, and he had like a whole ornate dinner plan, but the owner of the restaurant didn't know to stick with the standards, play the hits,
Oh, wait, is that with Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Wow. So anyway, he goes into the food truck business making Cubans. And it starts in Miami, and they discover the power of Twitter, and him and his son kind of reconnecting. It's a great movie.
Oh, cool.
But at one point, they do like a deep dive in the chef's character making a grilled cheese. And if you've ever wanted to have a grilled cheese, watch that scene.
All right.
Because it will make you salivate like you've never salivated ever. The way they filmed it, the way he makes the sandwich, it is astounding.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now I just want to see that scene.
Oh, dude, you'd probably be able to pull it up on YouTube.
I just want a grilled cheese now.
Right? That does sound good. Next episode, folks, we'll have a small grill here. We'll be grilling out.
Yeah.
You'll hear the sizzle in the background.
That's right. What would it pair well with? Let's try this. So I think this is a good all-around beer. It's nice. I don't know if it's something I would go to on a regular basis, because I think there's so many more things that are, I don't know, out there and flavorful and unique.
Yeah.
But I do like what it does. Like, I like barnyard ales, wild ales, things like that. So this does have that. It's got a nice little funk to it.
Nice. Ratings?
Yeah. So how many one-eyed gnomes would I give it out of 10?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
0, because they're creepy as hell. But how about normal, non-creepy gnomes? I'd let 8.
How many
gnomes.
Keebler Elves?
Yeah. All
8?
of them, if they're going to make me some of those cookies.
Yeah, the fudge striped cookies.
That's right. So grasshoppers.
But dude, I mean, the modern fudge stripe cookies versus what used to be, yeah, massively different. It's like old school Captain Crunch, what we grew up with, versus the crap they have out today.
Yeah, before all the chemicals and junk.
Yeah,
I'd say 8 out of 10.
I agree.
That's good.
I would agree.
Yeah, 8.
A solid 8.
You're okay with the creepy gnomes?
Yeah,
right.
they're fine. They're cute.
For Sieg.
They're in a little hand drawn house. I really like that part of the can.
It is a cool
But I
aspect.
would say They could have. It's just kind of unknowing can art. Like you just like it's just the gray or the tan color that it's like a mustard maybe. It's almost the same color as the beer.
It's almost the same color as that color Toyota has for trucks.
Oh yeah, the matte flat.
Yeah, the
beige.
baby poo brown. Brand new infant poop color.
Brand new infants.
I'm trying to figure out why their elf or their gnome house is out. You notice there's like no other trees. Like they've deforested the entire place.
The whole place has been nuked. The new, mutant
the one-eyed gnomes.
Right, the mutant gnomes came in and nuked the Keebler Elves, and
the radioactive.
This is the husk of the Keebler tree and dynasty.
I just like they look like they're just like sticking out their head out the window with their arms to their sides.
Yeah.
They're just like
they're all like they're mocking the elves. They're going, "This is what you used to do. Remember before we nuked your asses."
Like no cookies for you.
That's right.
Use my arms.
And then the one at the bottom with the broom is cleaning up the mess. He's like,
"I'm going to clean up the bottom."
Of the Keebler Elves.
Because if we don't clean the dirt, we're going to lose. We're going to become lazy.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Have you seen or heard of a movie called Gentlemen Broncos?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't watch that kind of stuff.
I saw a skit. It's like what was that?
I believe they call them bulls, Mike, for your kind of lifestyle that you like.
Stop.
With the upside down pineapples.
I saw there's a cruise of people that can go that have
swinger cruise.
Yes.
Oh God.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, did you hear of that, Carly?
No, I went.
You went?
No, I saw it on TikTok.
Did you say you went?
No, I'm kidding.
No, I saw it firsthand. I mean, what?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Naked conga line.
Naked conga line.
Sorry, I interrupted
In some
you.
situations, that is not a good thing. Most situations.
Yeah, with older people.
The limbo stick is an entirely different thing at that point.
The villages.
Sheesh. No, so this movie.
Take your shots.
What was it? Buck Rogers, the old sci-fis, and the other ones. I forget what the other ones were, but like everybody was like, oh, weird characters and stuff. I saw some weird clip of these cyclopses riding around in like motorized wheelchairs, and it was some guy in a tutu was the good guy, and he's like, oh, they're over there. These cyclops. I was like, what in the hell is this? And I looked it up, and it's this movie. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, and nobody I've talked to has seen it, but it's called Gentlemen Broncos, and it looked hilarious. Anyway, the one-eyed gnomes made me think of the cyclopses in that movie.
Is that going to be a new product?
Mike's Toy Store.
The cyclops gnome.
The Gentlemen Broncos.
Oh,
Yes.
the Gentlemen Broncos, cyclops gnomes, and then of course the tongue glove, the old go-to.
The old go-to tongue glove.
That's right.
Sure.
All right. Well, folks, if you get a chance, give it a shot. You can go out to East Nashville, and you can probably find it around some local stores. It's called Living Waters Brewing's Kolsch, and it is the Sieg, named after the Sieg River in Germany. So give it a whirl, see what you think. If you like some funkiness to it, I think you'd like it. Till next time, cheers.
Salud.